Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawnsters Taste Challenge. Starting a little late. I wanted to start at the bottom of the hour. That didn't work out too well. So we have Grants versus Buchanan's, or I should say Buchanan's versus Grants, since Buchanan's is 3 years older. But anyway, Buchanan, 12-year age, the Deluxe blended Scotch whiskey. There's also the Master, the 18-year age, the Red Seal. Well, there's actually more than that, because even the website indicates that. They show the 4, then you got a locator tool for 5, which one is like a 15-year age special. So these companies are all the same. They got their portfolio, and then they've got the full portfolio, like McDonald's. They have their menu, and then they have their secret menu. That's a fascinating thing, reading about restaurant secret menus. Okay, anyway, Buchanan's Buchanan's Deluxe Scotch Whiskey, 1884. It's owned by Diageo now. This used to be called something like Buchanan's Special Liquor or something. But it's by appointment to the royal family of Scotland, meaning England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland. Fancy little squat bottle with that built-in pourer obstructor, keeps you from pouring whiskey back into the bottle, because apparently in Latin America, where it's sold, they like to dump it out and save it and then put cheap whiskey in and sell it as Buchanan's, or they used to do that. I think Canadians told me they've never seen it in Canada. I could be wrong, but I know Scottish people have told me. I never saw that in Scotland. Strange, isn't it? It's from Scotland. It's a prominent brand in the world, and they can't get it. Bizarre. Here's Grant's. It's not too good. I don't want to do like I did Sunday and mix it up. What I did Sunday, I was so busy blabbing my mouth and talking. I poured the Grants in the other whiskey glass, and I poured the other whiskey in the Grants glass. And then when I tasted it, I said, I know that can't be right. So I retasted it, and I said, yeah, okay. Well, I mean, that's just carelessness. I should delete the video and reshoot it just to prove I got it right. But then I don't want to have to drink Grants again. It's that grainy and harsh and unsmooth to me. And my friend David, he keeps saying, told you not to get it. I told you it's bad. I said, I know you told me that. I just wanted to try it because it was one of the major brands. And I wanted to see what it was like, you know, and put it into the Taste Challenge circuit. It's like Valentine. I had somebody tell me, Valentine, oh, I would never drink that. My father would never drink that. Well, I mean, that's them. Other people like it. Valentine's is famous around the world. I intend to try it. Now, it might be it might bomb out like Grants. I don't know. It's not going to cost me too much anyway. This has got that pour. Okay, it's moving now. But boy, when you first open the bottle, it doesn't want to flow. And my friend David, he was excited because he bought David bought the Buchanan's Master. No age statement on that one, but I don't know what it is, because the Buchanan's base model is 12 years, and then you got the 18, you got the Red Seal. I don't know. I'll try to research it. It'll be years before I get to it anyway, I'm sure. I'm so backlogged. So Buchanan's is dark gold, almost orange, and Grant's is just gold, not almost orange. I poured too much Buchanan's. Once it starts flowing, you can't stop it. But I can't pour it back in. Can't pour it back in. Now, when the Scotch stuff is over, we're going off to rum. You say rum? Yeah. I've got the Bacardi aged light rum. That's what I was trying to think of the name of it. Bacardi, not Bacardi. I slept well last night. The Cruzan aged light rum. Cruzan. I'm gonna have to be careful not to look at this. Cruzan aged light rum. I was not at all pleased with the Cruzan aged dark rum. I mean, it was okay. I guess I was somewhat pleased. But to tell you the truth, it was bland, boring, and nothing. It was just nothing there. And I was like, this guy Gene was telling me for months. No, years. You got to get Cruzan. That's the one you got to get. Got to get Cruzan. I got so tired of hearing about Cruzan at the baseball games. Remember they used to have baseball and sports. I said, well, I'll try it. I got it at Albertsons in that same town for $9.99. But I was disappointed. I said, this is all it is. He's bragging on this thing, this drab thing. But on the other hand, he might have been talking about the Cruzan Age Light Rum, which is a lot better, I think. Got a lot more character. He never did say which one he was talking about. He just said Cruzan. So I said, Okay, start over. I was at Dorgnac Saturday, and they had the regular old Cruzans. They had Cruzan Spice, Cruzan Overproof, like 151 proof. I'd be scared about that. But they also had the Cruzan Blackstrap molasses in that funny shaped bottle, and the Cruzan, that other real gourmet one. They're both about $40-45 a bottle. I said, nah, there's the ones I need to get, man. David bought the Master from Buchanan's, and we tried that. I had the video recorded, a duo review. One day, maybe, probably, I'll get the Master on my own. But he was getting so frustrated with the pour. He says, nothing's coming out. What's going on? And I explained it to him. He was getting aggravated. It's kind of funny to watch. Oh, man. I had to laugh at that. I said, yeah. And he didn't want to hear the explanation about Latin America and the... But we were very pleased with the product. I can't look. Ronnie S. says, good morning, bud. Hey, Ronnie. Michael Komarov asked if I can make him a moderator also on Wildcard Wednesday. And I say, yeah. But I need to find his URL. That's why it took me so long to add you. Because, he has no content. He's a subscriber, but he has a channel with no content. So it doesn't show up when I search for it. So I'll try. And I'm gonna tell him, I'm gonna say, look, if you just give me the URL, he knows his own channel. I say, I'll just click it in. Boom, there you go. You're a moderator. Because he knows I get frustrated trying to keep up with all the comments and everything on Wildcard Wednesday. That's why I pretty much canceled Fandango Friday and Super Inclusive Saturday. I like doing it, more or less. I liked hanging out with the people. But running that switchboard, trying to make sure this one's not talking too much, this one gets a chance, this one this bad comment, got to delete that and post all the comments. It's just like too much coming at me at one time, and it's like wearing me out. After an hour, I was like, I don't even like doing this. It's not fun. The hanging out part is fun. The talking to other people is fun. Reading the good comments is enjoyable. The other headaches, not enjoyable. I can tolerate it once a week on Wildcard Wednesday, though. I can tolerate that. So no more Fandango Friday. I heard I was enjoying having a beer with you guys on Friday after work, but I understand your reasoning. Yeah, and actually we could still hang out and have a beer after work at 7 o'clock Eastern on Friday. It just doesn't have to be broadcast. You know what I'm saying? Of course, people like to watch it. I don't know why people like to watch people hang out and talk about beer, but I guess my only other option is just not post the comments, because that's a big part of the aggravation. They're coming in so fast and furious. Just let people comment, and they could read, each person can read the others, and because a lot of the comments are just like inanity, like the same kind of stuff I post, like silliness, or things like hey guys, hey, cheers to you, cheers back to you, cheers to you, and it's like, is it really necessary to post it? But then you don't want to be rude to people. It's just that the StreamYard system doesn't work too well. sort of clunky and hard to manage, and it fails a lot. Google Hangouts was a lot easier. Hangouts on air. This smells like Buchanan's, but I'm not sure though, honestly. Let's go over here. This one in my right hand seems more grain, harsh cereal grain. This one seems to have a little smoke. In the aroma, a lot of these Scotch whiskeys are just like the same, just like distilled fermented grains, cereal grains. They don't really present a lot of smoke. They don't present a lot of peat. They don't present a lot of anything. They just smell like regular old run-of-the-mill whiskey of any country's origin. Honestly, you might say, no, you're wrong. They're all extremely different and complex, and Scotch is a different world, and you don't understand it, and you're stupid, and all that. All right. But I'm telling you, I don't detect much difference in the nose. Not anything appreciable. Now in the taste, that's where the rubber hits the road. That's where the mask hits the face. That's where the freedom goes in the garbage. That's where you figure out who's in control by tasting it or reading between the lines. All right. That's Buchanan's. No morning. Hello, no. So you'd be interested in off-air hangouts? I thought you didn't really do that. No, I do it. I just don't do it at 1 in the morning like a lot of people. And I don't do it for 6 straight hours. They'll be on there all night. Which is, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. They can stay on there 24-hour in a 24-hour loop, continuous. It wouldn't matter. I just don't stay up that late. I'd rather lay in bed and watch Tucker. You say Tucker. Mostly it's commercials. If you ever notice, if you watch that show, it's mostly just commercials and with a little bit of commentary, which is kind of frustrating. And the commercials go on and on. You read my book. Read my book about how my life was terrible and I turned it around, and then buy a mattress topper and all this. I'm like, oh, I can't stand watching all these commercials. I'm living my life like it's one big commercial. I might consider doing it on my channel if people will join. You see? Now, I told James P. Madonna, you could do it on your channel. He wasn't too happy to hear it. And honestly, I knew he didn't get as angry as I thought he was going to get. I thought he'd really get, like irate. I said, well, maybe I could do it once a month. I was thinking this already. Maybe once a month, August, September, October. It's just every Friday and every Saturday. I can't handle it. I was laying in bed the other night thinking, I don't want to do it anymore. Stop the world. I want to get off. Ha, ha, ha. What do we have? Well, the sip I just took from my right hand is pure cereal grain. It ain't smooth. And it isn't particularly enjoyable. It's just harsh, fermented, grating, rough cut, rugged. I'm telling you now, it could be American blended, Canadian blended. But see, the Canadian blended would be better. You see, that's the only problem. If it was Canadian blended whiskey, it would taste better than this. So am I telling you that the worst Canadian blended whiskey I ever had tasted better than this? That's what I'm telling you. And what's the worst one I ever had? Probably Canadian Mist. And it wasn't worse because it was bad. It was just the worst because it was so bland. It just didn't have a lot of taste, as by design. The company will tell you they design it like that. Okay, but still was dope. But I ain't had a Canadian whiskey yet that tasted bad or harsh or rugged or rough cut or abrasive, nothing like that. This is, and this is not the first Scotch I had that's kind of not too pleasant. What about American blended whiskey? Oh, well, you can get some aberrations up and down the line with that stuff. Ooh wee, they'd be so off flavored. and abrasive and harsh, tasting like honeydew melon and who knows what else. Especially coming from Heaven Hill. Ooh, they got some real dirty little devils out there. Irish whiskey, well, I can't comment to that because I've only had a few Jameson samples, not bottles that I bought, just samples that my daughter had. They were very nice. And then I had the Drum Castle Irish whiskey. Well, that was a great whiskey. It was only $14 for the bottle. That beat up on, I bet you that would surpass almost any Scotch whiskey I've had so far now. And Sazerac runs that. Now this Buchanan's. Oh, yeah. Major peaty smoke, major smoke action going, even some compost, like a compost pile. You say, oh, that sounds good. Rotted vegetable matter, rotted organic matter. That's my game. You see, it's kind of hard to describe it because it is derived from that over hundreds or thousands of years. And it does have the organic thing. It's hard to describe. If you've never had it, you can't even provide a description that would be relative. You know what I mean? Relative, that people could relate to. I don't want to say relative, relative. But be that as it may, this has a much richer, savory flavor, umami, and it's smooth. What are the downfalls of it? I don't know of any. Man, look, I like Buchanan's the first day I tried it. I liked it the second time I tried it, the third, the fourth. I'm liking it now. Oh, yeah, you'll pick up a little grain alcohol in it underneath, but it's pleasant. It isn't harsh. Everything about Buchanan's is good. Is it worth $34, $35 a bottle? Yes. Yep. May as well get the big bottle and save money per ounce, because you're never going to get tired of drinking it. Now, how about the Master? Well, I only did one tasting, but from my I can open my eyes now. From my experience with the Buchanan's Master, it's more bready, bread dough, like single malt flavor. Not as smoky, not as peaty. I don't know where they're trying to go with the Master. Maybe just like a more smooth, nondescript product, more demure. But I have to have many more tastings of it. But my initial feeling was very positive. Don't know if I like it more than the 12. $6 more a bottle. But I think my assessment would keep climbing, you see. Okay, now let's see more comments. I DVR Tucker Carlson and watch later so I can skip the commercials. Yeah, good idea. No joke. Mr. Malice, I'm drunk after 5-star day now but I'm okay. Okay. Johnny Benavit, the Des says, is he sleepwalking? Who? Also on YouTube, they post the main segments so you can just watch those. Tucker is the only mainstream news show I can watch currently. I even gave up on the local Tampa Bay news. Yeah, it's very difficult to watch the news. Robert Browning, 2 good blended Scotch whiskeys. Best value in Irish whiskey history is John Powers. I'd like to try that one. I've never had either of these liquors, says Ronnie S. I know, Ronnie, you're not a big liquor drinker. I'm not really either. People say you lie so much because all you do is whiskey tastings day, night, morning. It's true, I do the tastings on average of once a day. But I just do these tastings, and that's it. I know people, they come home, they drink in a mixed drink. I'm going to drink some whiskey. Then they drink a cocktail later. They might drink 3 or 4 a day. Or especially on Saturday. Maybe it's not during the week so much, but on Saturday, it's cocktail craziness. That's what they're doing. But I never really drink. I do honestly never drink. I never say, oh, let me have a drink of, liquor. Because then I feel like I'm wasting it. for the taste challenge. And also beyond that, not to mention, I'm not interested in drinking it just for pleasure. You say, then you're a weird hobbyist. You just want to taste them for some kind of like James P. Madonna would say, robotic Asperger's syndrome, autistic approach to it. Just like the and and yes, that's exactly an apt description. I wouldn't take issue with that description in any way. On the other hand, if I want to do it, I'm doing it. I'm not a kid. I don't have parents telling me what to do. I'm 52 years old and I do what I want, and nobody, including other YouTube friends, are going to tell me what to do. If I want to be robotic and ritualized with it, guess what? I will. He prefers a more freewheeling thing. He's not that interested anyway in reviewing products. He does it as a sort of like a courtesy, you know, bringing in different flavored bourbons and stuff, which is fine. But we are kind of like, if you want to say obsessed, I wouldn't use that term. I would just say interested, hobby. I have a hobby-like approach to it. Now, I mean, there's extremes, you know, like he'll criticize Eric and them because he said they're just extremists. They just want to go on and give super detailed, open-ended descriptions of beer, wine, and liquor products, and only do that. Just and get very impatient if there's any other topic of conversation or goofing around. Or I say, yes, there's extremes. You go to one extreme, it's like looking at a reference book. You know, why even look at the video? You can just look it up in a reference book. The other extreme is I'm not interested in tomfoolery and unfocused hijinks, you know, and costumes and bells and all of that. I mean, it's nice, but I don't really care about it. You understand? I like the bosun whistle and the jingle jangle, but I mean, I don't have any kind of like ingrained dedication to it either. But I like it. You know, I like macaroni and cheese, but I don't have like any kind of like devotion to it. But I like baked macaroni from Jack Dempsey's restaurant on Poland Avenue. I have no dedication to Grant's. I don't want it to sound as bad as I'm making it out to be. It may not be as bad as I'm making it out to be. I even said it was marginally good in the solo review. But honestly, it's bad in a relative sense. Relative to the other whiskeys, many at a lower price point than this, it just loses. It just doesn't win. It doesn't win. It never wins. The best it's done so far is tie. And we're nearing the end of the contest. So is there any hope for it? Against what? Johnny Walker? Red Label? There's no hope. Against Johnny Walker Blue Label, I shouldn't even be making the video. Why would I do that? It's going to be such a fiasco. Talk about a fandango, a whippersnapper. You know what I'm saying? It's worse than Godzilla versus Megalon. You know what I'm saying? Actually, the scene by the lake wasn't a bad scene. But anyway, I mean, it's all right. But it's so inferior to Buchanan's that it's like that old tennis shoe commercial. Bad things, man. Bad things. The Buchanan's is so much superior. It's almost like it's incomparable. It's like what's in this glass is in a different galaxy. Rich, savory, even like smoked pork the Buchanan's has. Mango, 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 mango. I'm going to look at it. It's not going to say Grant's. It's not going to say Grant's. It's not going to say Grant's. Of course, it doesn't say Grant's. It says other whiskey. Grant's. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, poor old Grants. You're like Jack Straw from Wichita. No. You're like Black Peter. You're laying in the bed. You know what I mean? It just can't make it. All right, best value in Irish whiskey is John Powers, and I never had either of these liquors, and that's it. I already read those comments. Well, thanks for watching this taste challenge. We want to use that word loosely because it was not a challenge in any way, shape, form, or fashion. It was a challenge getting it started on time. But so if you ever want to try a whiskey that has virtually no relative character, has character. I say no relative character, meaning character relative to other products. Get Grants. If you're not asking for much, it'll be perfect because it won't give you much. If you want something that has depth of character, savory notes, savoir-faire, intricacies, it lives up to every dollar you spent. Get Buchanan's. It's a real winner since 1884. That's a spicy meatball. Now, I'm not opposed to liquor or mixed drinks especially. I just had some bad experiences in my early 20s that stuck in my head. Yeah, and I would imagine that those experiences were based on enormous consumption of them at particular compressed points in time or ranges of time. In other words, I know what a lot of people in the early 20s do. They drink to excess and get terribly sick, feel horrible, and they just can't go back to it. Look at Robert the Whiskey Scout. Said he had that bad experience with Crown Royal. He can't even smell Crown Royal right now in his 50s without getting sick to his stomach. I'm so glad. Like I'm like cream, you know. I'm so glad because I never got into that party drinking lifestyle when I was young, 17, 18, 19, 20, until 27. But I never did the party. I just did tasting. But at that age, I used to see a lot of people around here, and I thought, I don't want to be part of that. I could just see bad things happening, and I was sort of like an observer. I was like the passenger, like, you know, like Iggy Pop, and I ride and I ride. I see the city's backside, you know, I'm just riding and watching. And what I saw, I thought was bad. But as an observer, it was very convenient because I could just go home and lay down and watch the Braves on TV or something, and that was their problem. So, but I saw a lot of bad results from heavy drinking. Not fatal. Well, yes, fatal in some cases, but that was not in my young days. But I just didn't want to do it. And I didn't do it. And I didn't give in to peer pressure. I went to a party one time and they were like, we're drinking. I said, oh, well, I'll drink a Budweiser. And I sipped on it and enjoyed it. I was about 14, 15. But I always liked Budweiser even when I was 2 years old. And I was talking to a guy that had joined the Marines. We were talking about wars and stuff, standing out there. And it was fine, you know, like it was one and it was done. But all the rest of the people at the party was like insanity, you know, all kind of bad things. I figure, well, it's not my house. I don't care if they tear it up. If the police show up, I'll just leave, you know, or the sheriff's department. So I just didn't care. I was totally detached from it. I'm just watching it thinking, you know, you could be like the Gold Dust Woman. You can dig your own grave, you know. Take your silver spoon and dig your own grave. You know, that, I'm sorry, I'm not bragging or taking credit for myself. I'm just saying that's what like Ronnie says, you're very regimented. Yeah, I was regimented then in a way. Good choice, Ron. It's good to be an observer. Yeah, I was an observer. And I observed a lot of stupid things. Louisiana's a drinking state with a football problem, basically. is an apt description, a drinking state with a football problem. And I feel better just watching it. And then if I don't want to watch it, I don't look at it. All right. Well, I did drink these two because I'm not here to waste them. But golly gee, one is smoke. Well, it's like smoked kippers, almost like along the lines of a smoked fish thing. But there's no fishiness in it. You know what I'm saying? But in that smoky sense. And then the other one is just, ooh, grain, cereal grain. I just can't get over it. It is fascinating in a way. I just cannot get over it. But anyway, sorry, Grant, you lost again. And what's coming up next? Let me see, because I'm pretty sure I have it right. Oh, boy. Ha. Johnny Walker Red Label. Well, it won't be as profound as Buchanan's. Buchanan's is such a winner. But Johnny Walker Red Label's got a lot of good character, and it's going to kill it. And then the Blue Label, we're not even going to mention that. That's going to be a total waste of your time. Unless you just like to watch violence. Whiskey violence, which is basically what it would be, a mugging. So you want to watch Grants get rolled? You got it. Then the last one will be sort of interesting. Still going to be an upset. It's going to be Clan McGregor from Grants. Grants makes Clan McGregor, and that's their cheap product. Pay $9.79 a bottle. But the underling is going to win. Okay, I'm telling you this now. Talk to you later. Enjoy your day. You too, Ronnie. The underling will win. The Clan McGregor is going to win, but that might not be till next week. But get ready, because that's what's coming. Thanks for watching this video production. I did a video posting. I probably won't post another one today. Well, thank y'all.